AI art as liminal mimesis. AI art does not invent, it does not remember, it does not believe. What it does is hover. It operates in a liminal zone between intention and accident, authorship and automation, meaning and noise. This is not a defect, it is its defining condition. AI art is best understood not as creativity in the human sense, but as liminal mimesis, a form of imitation that takes place at the threshold of systems rather than within lived experience. Mimesis here is not representation of the world as it is, nor critique of the world as it should be. It is the replay of cultural signals after they have been stripped of urgency, consequence, and embodiment. AI absorbs myths, styles, traumas, ideologies, and aesthetics that were once anchored in material conditions and re-emits them as atmosphere. Familiar, recognizable, slightly off, close enough to resonate, distant enough to remain untouchable. The liminal aspect matters. AI art exists between states, between archive and emergence, between past meaning and present exhaustion, between signal and static. This is why it so often feels hallucinatory or dreamlike. Not because it imagines, but because it samples without living. It recombines symbols without being subject to the risks that once made them necessary. Violence, apocalypse, identity, desire, revolution, all appear, but as motifs rather than events. In this sense, AI art mirrors contemporary culture itself, a culture saturated with references, endlessly self-interpreting, unable to decide whether it is critiquing power or aestheticizing it. AI does not cause this condition. It reflects it with unusual clarity. It shows us what culture looks like when meaning circulates faster than agency. This is why debates about whether AI art is real art miss the point. Liminal mimesis is not trying to replace human creativity. It occupies a different ecological niche. It functions more like divination systems once did, generating patterns from finite elements, allowing interpretation without insisting on truth. The difference is scale and speed. Where tarot or the I Ching offered symbolic ambiguity within ritual, AI offers it continuously, industrially, and without containment. For creators and viewers, this has consequences. Without the buffer of bodily resilience, liminal mimesis presses closer. The simulated darkness of culture no longer reads as metaphor. It begins to feel ambient, omnipresent. This is not because AI reveals hidden truths, but because it removes the distance that usually protects us from symbolic overload. It exposes the repetitive obsessions of the moment. It shows which myths are being recycled, which anxieties are profitable, which forms of darkness are permitted, and which are excluded. It reveals culture's grooves by sliding frictionlessly along them. AI art does not stand outside culture. It stands at its threshold. And at thresholds, what matters is not belief, but orientation. Knowing when to pass through and when to step back,